you squeeze really hard on the strip, all right, and stroke it really fast, you'll melt the strip. I'm serious. Instead of pointing straight up like it is, it will be bent. We don't want it to be like that. Okay? So, you can stroke it as fast as you want, but don't squeeze hard on it when you're doing it. Okay? Fast, but not hard. There won't be a lot of friction, it won't melt. Okay? Same true for the other strip. Now, when you stroke this strip with this pad, in the lab manual, this is going to be called cat's fur. Okay? And this is going to be called an ebonite rod. I have cat's fur and I have ebonite rod. This is called a silk cloth, which it is, and this is called a glass rod, which I have, but you don't get to use. When I use the ebonite rods and the glass rods, you guys drop and break them. All right? Not saying you, but people do. These, you can drop them, but they will not break. So that's why we're using these. These aren't as good, but they're pretty close. This is not a cat's fur, all right? It's wool, so it'll act like the cat's fur. I don't use the cat's fur anymore. They're up there, but because people always ask me, where did you get this from? I said, on the road. Where else? And they give me all kinds of looks, so I don't use the cat's fur no more. All right? So we use these. These work really well. Really well. Almost as good as the cat's fur and the ebonite rod. These work pretty good. About it, almost as good as the glass rod and the silk. All right? But we don't have to worry about these breaking on it. All right, now, what we're going to do by stroking the strip, all right, is we're going to place a charge on this strip. Okay? When we stroke the strip, the white one with the black cloth, that's going to give us an abundance of negative charge or electrons on this strip. When we charge this a certain way and it's brought near another charged object, two things can happen. Okay? If it's brought near an object that is charged identical to it, they'll tend to repel each other, won't they? Push away. And if they're unlike charges, opposite charges, when you bring them close to each other, they'll tend to attract. So that's what we're going to take a look at. Now, as you sit there, right where you're at, these tiny little balls that are hanging here, and remember, we're going to use one. So we'll take one of the little balls and move it out of the way, so we're only using one. Okay? Now, these little balls should be discharged at this time because static charge doesn't hang around for a long period of time. So these guys should be neutrally charged, meaning that they have the same number of protons and electrons on them, all right? So they have the same number of positive and negative charges. So they is neutral. Now, you're going to be charging these little balls as well as the strips, and I'll show you how to do that. But right now, they're discharged, so they're neutrally charged. If they were charged and we need to uncharge them or get a neutral charge on them, there's only one way that you can do that, and that's to caress the little balls in your fingers. Oh my God. Listen up. That has to be done very gently. All right? These little balls is made of like styrofoam. Okay? So they tend to break if you squeeze on them hard. All right? Does everybody understand that? I don't want you breaking my balls. Okay? So, press them very, very gently. All right? Now, I'm going to put a charge on the strip. I'm stroking the strip. I put a charge on the strip. Once I get a charge on the strip, if I bring it near this neutral ball, something should happen to the little ball. Okay? And I'm not touching it, but if you look at it, it's tending to move by itself without me touching it, all right? But that's neutrally charged, and this is negatively charged, all right? Why is that little ball moving if it's neutrally charged and this is negatively charged? Is the little ball, when you take a look, is it being attracted or repelled? Being attracted. So that must mean that, for some unknown reason, this guy has to take on a positive charge in order for this, we know being negative, to attract it, right? What do you think's happening to the little ball that makes it attracted to the strip? Do you think that since it's an equal number of positive and negative charges, when I bring the strip up near it, it's pushing all those negative charges, repelling them, pushing them to the other side of the little ball, leaving an overabundance of what kind of charge near the, right? positive charge is near the strip, right? So it's what? Attracted towards the strip, isn't it? Okay? All right, then another thing that you're going to do besides something like that is you're going to charge a little ball. In order to charge a little ball, you can't stroke the ball with the strip, with the cloth, all right? You got to, once again, charge the strip. Then you take the strip up to the ball and you touch it to the ball. You literally rub the charge onto the ball. Okay, you see the ball come right to the strip until it's charged. Once it's charged, all right, recharge the strip. Okay? Then, since they're like charges, when you bring one near the other, they should tend to repel each other. Okay? See that? All right. Now, the only way you can get this guy from not being negatively charged to being neutrally charged is what? What do you have to do?
You gotta play with it.
That's right. You have to caress the little ball in your fingers gently just to take the charge away. Okay? Now you'll notice that when I was rubbing the charge on the ball, I was taking this away rather rapidly. So I would leave the charge on the ball. When I'm neutralizing this, I can take my fingers away slowly. All right? That way the charge, all right, is kind of left, or the neutralization is left on the ball. I don't pull it away with me. All right, now, you're also going to use the acetate strip with the silk. You'll do the same thing, stroke it with the strip. This is more difficult to put a positive charge on this strip with the silk, but you can do it. And you'll see, when you bring it up near the little ball, all right, I probably should not have discharged it. If it was negative, then I brought a positive up, you would see the attraction. So I'm going to charge this guy up once again, negatively, and then I'll stroke this strip and charge it positively. And since the ball is negative now, this strip should attract the ball, shouldn't it? Like it is. Positive charge, negative charge, okay? See how it's attracted? All right, so you can see what you're going to be doing and the observations you're going to be making. All right? Once you are through with this lab, which you're just going to do a couple of things, make some observations and answer some questions, then you will turn in your electroscope and your silk pad and your acetate strip. Keep the black pad and keep the vinyl strip. You're going to come over and get one of these little houses. Okay? I built these myself. It takes about 2 hours. 2 hours? Yeah, not too much fun. All right? Yes, what you will find here, remember I said initially you'll be working with a pair of small little balls, right? Then a little later, what? You'll be working with
Big
large balls. A pair of very large balls in comparison to the other. Look how big that ball is. All right? Now, you'll see that this ball sticks on a shaft. All right? The shaft goes into a little channel and then goes in and out of the hole. You really like this class, don't you, Justin? All right? Now, this little ball on the shaft is fixed. We can't make adjustments to that little ball, period. We can't adjust it horizontally, vertically, in and out, up and down, nothing. It just sits on the shaft and slides in and out of the hole, all right, when we need it to. If you look inside the little house, you'll notice there is a little window. You can open it should you want to. If not, you can keep it closed. If you look inside there, you'll see another little ball. And it's hanging, isn't it? Does everybody see that little ball hanging in there? Yeah. Can you see it? Okay? All right. That little ball can be adjusted in 3 dimensions. Okay? We can move it up and down, in and out, left and right. All right? That ball has to be adjusted so that when I shove the little ball on the shaft into the hole, all right, they will meet side by side, lined up perfectly, vertically, horizontally, okay? And if they is not initially, then you will find, and they're very hard to see from where you is at, two tiny little ropes attached to that little ball, all right? They hang down the sides on the outside. If you need to adjust it and get it higher, you jerk up and down on the ropes, all right? Jerk down on the ropes, it raises it up. Jerk on this one more than that one, it'll pull